Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Joe and welcome to another list video, and I haven't done one of these in a fair amount of time, right? It's been quite a while since I did one, and honestly, I haven't really had an idea that I've been properly, passionate and enthusiastic about in terms of lists, so I've been kind of on the back seat for them a bit. However, right, this sounds a bit weird, but I've been watching quite a few Pokemon videos because I'm proper into playing the games again now. I've got my 3DS set up and everything, but I've just been watching a few Pokemon videos and stuff, and I came across a video of top 10 things that probably didn't happen to you in Pokemon, and I thought, hey, that's a pretty sick idea. I'm going to take inspiration from this and do 5 things that probably haven't happened to you in Team Fortress 2. So this is going to be things that in Team Fortress 2 you'd love to happen, things that would be so great if they happened, but they just haven't. For some reason, they just probably haven't happened to you because it's such a rare occurrence. So I actually found a lot of these really interesting when I was coming up with the list, and I'd love it if you guys could leave some suggestions down below as well. If you find this idea at all interesting, I'd love it if you guys could leave some of your ideas down below of things that probably haven't happened to you that you probably would have wanted. So without further ado, let's get straight into the first one. So this first one takes me back to the Muselk days, back when he was a proper TF2 YouTuber. He made an iconic video about one of the 3 secret hats in Team Fortress 2, where he owned all 3 of them at the same time. However, being a bit more vague than this, one thing that probably hasn't happened to you in Team Fortress 2 is actually owning one of the 3 secret hats in Team Fortress 2. These hats are given to you for either winning the most duels out of any player during that previous 24 hours, gifting the most items during that previous 24 hours, and of course last but definitely not least, out of the legendary 3 hats, we have, I believe it's pronounced something like the Philatela or something like that. It's the hat for collecting the most map stamps in a certain 24-hour period. And the chances are you've probably never owned one of these. And the issue is, you can gift out so many gifts and get this hat, but you only own it for 24 hours before it's given on to the next person who's given out the most gifts. And I feel like my personal issue with this hat, although it's great and you can paint it and stuff, you don't get anything to signify that you've owned it. I think it would be really cool if once it leaves your backpack and goes to the next person, if it left something in your backpack to signify it, a badge or something, just to say, hey, I gave out the most gifts on this certain date. I just think that would be pretty cool. But nonetheless, you've probably never owned one of these 3 hats, and I don't honestly think I've seen one of them in game. Maybe in a trade server or something, but I don't feel like I've seen any of these in game. And next up on the list, guys, we have been in the same MVM lobby whilst a golden pan has dropped. And this is something that I've never seen. I've seen an Australian wrench and a flamethrower drop, but I honestly think that's it in terms of Australians I've witnessed drop. And I've done a decent amount of tours, at least 15 or so, and I've never ever been in the same lobby as someone who's dropped a golden pan. And although it's extremely unlikely, you gotta think, there's quite a few golden pans in existence. I did just do a super quick check, and from what I understand, I believe there's roughly about 136, give or take, a couple. But, yeah, so I've never been in the lobby as someone who's had a golden pan, and I don't know anyone that has either. So, I mean, that's crazy, and the chances are very, very slim due to how rare golden pan drops themselves are. So next up on the list, guys, we have Valve weapons, and this one is going to be the next thing that hasn't really happened to you, is going to be ever have seen a Valve weapon in game. Now, I don't even know if Valve weapons are real. Valve weapons are allegedly items that are given directly to Valve employees, and I believe there's a few backpacks you can find on backpack.tf of Valve employees that actually have these Valve rocket launchers. And the Valve rocket launcher and the Valve items in general all have the burning effect. Every single Valve item has an effect called flying bits, which is essentially burning, and all of them have crazy buffs, so much damage, extra ammo, extra firing speed, on hit gain health, you name it. Any single buff for a weapon is probably on a Valve weapon. Now, I've never ever seen one of these in game, and I really, I don't necessarily doubt that they exist, but I don't feel like if a Valve employee was playing the game, that it would be fair to use these. Like, I feel like it would just be such a troll to use a Valve weapon that, I mean, people would just rage quit on the other team. Like, just imagine joining a game, one rocket flies into your spawn and you're dead because the damage is so high on it. So, yeah, I've never seen a Valve weapon in game. If any of you have, let me know down below. Like, I mean, not in like a trade server or like a community server where they can give themselves any weapon. I mean like a real Valve weapon belonging to a real Valve employee, because that's really interesting. I believe on the TF2 wiki, I'll drop a link down below, you can actually find a link to one a backpack.tf profile, to someone called Robin Walker, and even though their inventory is currently private, there's an archive on backpack.tf where you of course can see the Valve weapons. That's really interesting though, but you've probably never been in the same game as someone with a Valve weapon, or just seen one in game. Now this next one, although it is fairly comical in some aspects, it's quite sad when you think about it. This next thing that probably hasn't happened to you in Team Fortress 2 is queuing for a competitive match, joining in under 20 seconds accompanied by 11 other competent players, meaning you're in a team full of good players against a team full of good players. Now I find it quite hard because whenever I've queued for competitive, it's notoriously taken so long. And I don't really play it a huge amount because, well, I mean, I don't really play comp in general, but if I do, I'd normally play like an external server, something like Faceit or something like that. And I've never really played the in-game comp properly, but when I have, it's taken so long to get me into a game, and when I have joined the game, I'm generally like teamed with some people who don't really know what they're doing, or teamed against people that don't know what they're doing, or like a team of 4 against a team of 6, and you just absolutely stomp the other team or you get stomped. Whilst I'm editing this, I realised I forgot to mention hackers. Hackers in Team Fortress 2 competitive are a nightmare. My personal experience shows there's no real in-between, which is kind of sad to think about. Like, I really do hope the Valve work on their competitive matchmaking, because, you know, it's quite a shame to see, because it has so much potential to be great. Like, it could be greatness, but at the moment it's just really not in a great state. So that's the 4th thing on this list that probably hasn't happened to you when playing Team Fortress 2. And this next one, and the last thing on the list, is going to be something that I'm sure most of you saw coming. I'm sure many of you saw this coming, and I feel like this is the one thing on the list that is likely that other people have done. Like, I feel like this is the one where people may be able to say, hey, actually this has happened to me. And this is going to be unboxing an unusual hat. And I know this is like actually really common, but I mean, put into perspective, there's a lot of unusuals in existence, don't get me wrong, but if you compare that to TF2's player base, I think it's pretty clear that the vast majority of players haven't unboxed an unusual. I myself have unboxed an unusual. Years and years ago, I unboxed this like steaming Robo Noble amassment or something like that. Back in the day, like way back in the day when I used to play like 2012, 2013, something like that. And yeah, so that was like my first and only unbox. Generally now I don't unbox, and I don't recommend people to unbox because I feel like it's a waste of money in this sort of economy that we're in at the moment. It's better just to use the keys and trade up as opposed to use them to unbox. But I feel like it's really uncommon, so let me know down below if you have unboxed an unusual or even multiple unusuals, because I know some people on backpack.tf and even on my Steam friends list that have unboxed like hundreds of unusuals just by unboxing thousands and thousands of crates. Like, there are people who are willing to spend enough money to do that. But overall, I feel like on the whole, like summarized up, the vast majority of Team Fortress 2 players haven't unboxed an unusual. Generally when you unbox, you'll just get like a really low tier strange or like some random killstreak kit for a weapon that you're just never really gonna use. It's really not very useful. But guys, that is just about it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please do remember to drop a like and let me know your thoughts down below. I do want to reiterate, like, likes are really important at the moment. I really do appreciate them a lot. So if you do enjoy, please do drop a like. And yeah, let me know if you've actually experienced any of these things down below. I'll be really interested to read some of your comments. And as I said at the start of the video, please do like leave any suggestions for maybe another episode. Because as I said, I had so much fun like making this, and like so much fun coming up with these ideas, that I'd be so down to make another episode, because like it could even become like a mini series type thing, like Spiky Mikey's things underscore do, like things TF2 players do, things traders do, etc. Like, I just feel like this could be a really good thing. So yeah guys, thank you all so much for watching once again. I really do appreciate it, and peace.